YFM got the lens on go.
Alrighty, I'm Nyki London, and I'm here with Tyree Hudson, the man behind Smugglers Rhum. Who is Tyree Hudson?
Tyree Hudson is a father, a poet, an author, and a black man in America.
And what does that mean to you?
It means having to work harder than everybody else because it just comes easy and natural. Like it comes natural to me, but it doesn't matter how natural it comes to me. Somebody else is always going to get it. I'm always going to have to work twice as hard.
That's true. Now, what does Smugglers Rhum stand for you?
History in a bottle. For the fact that rum was actually created in Barbados, and then being nice, we shared it with the French, and then eventually they took over, and that's why when you Google rum runners, you see a white man and not a black one.
Oh wow, I'm learning a little history lesson today. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a sad truth about what's going on in the United States. You know, they talk about how they've created everything, but in all actuality, if we were to leave, they wouldn't have anything.
That's true. America was built on the black man.
The black, the Hispanic, the Indian, the Asian, you know, but yet they want to get rid of us so bad. They hate us so much when everything that you're drinking, the food that you're eating, the culture, it comes from everybody but them.
That is true. I definitely believe that. Now, is that what caused you to create Smugglers Rhum?
Smugglers Rhum actually sort of fell in my lap. I used to be in the fashion industry, modeling industry for years. I decided to move to Florida, and then I was still going back and forth doing fashion shows, hosting fashion shows, things like that. And one of the designers happened to have the same birthday as me and invited me to Jones Beach. The moment I get off on Jones Beach, I hear Nutcrackers, 5 for 20. And I'm like, you know what? Let's buy some. There's 6 of us. One person wasn't drinking. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I live in the Sunshine State. I could sell this all year round. And one thing led to another, and that's what I was doing. And one of my competitors ended up calling the cops on me, and they showed up at my house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Since it technically would be a federal crime, they couldn't do anything but just like warn me of it. And if I was doing it, I could sit here and admit it today because they can't do anything. But that was when I had my aha moment. What do I need to do to create my spirit, something that I would enjoy? I got tired of drinking Bacardi and Captain Morgan because you have to mix those. Sometimes you just want to sip. Sometimes you want something that's like a whiskey or bourbon. And when you go to the islands, Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas, St. Martin, you're able to sip those on the rocks, neat, or even make a nice cocktail. Bacardi and Captain Morgan, Malibu, you can't do it. So that's the reason why a lot of people stray away from rum in the United States.
A lot of rums are very sweet. So is that why you wanted to do something that was like more true to the culture?
Yeah, I wanted to do something that was more true to my ancestors.
Okay.
Being the fact that I was raised by Jamaicans. And keep in mind, Smugglers Rhum was actually created 10 years ago. 5 years ago, I found out that my father's side of the family is Bajan, so Barbados. My mother's side of the family is from the Bahamas. And I actually used to have rum runners in my family who used to smuggle rum from the Bahamas into Florida.
Oh, wow. So was that before you had the name for Smugglers Rhum that you found this out, or after?
I rebranded Smugglers to Smugglers Rhum 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. So what was your name previously?
Frozen Nutties. Because it was supposed to be frozen.
That sounds fun for a good time.
It is. You know, it was supposed to be frozen. It was supposed to make it simplistic for people. They don't have to do the ninjas and things like that. But then I did a event with Damon John and his team, and one of his teammates said, well, why are you cutting yourself off from the other part of the industry?
Mhm.
I didn't understand what he meant. He was like, well, yeah, people like simplicity, but they can do it themselves if they really wanted it. Like
Yeah.
most people just want to drink alcohol and enjoy themselves.
Hmm.
So I took it from a 20% ABV to a 40.
Oh wow. Now is
And
that what's in here? Because you brought us a little token. You got me a little token. I did cheat and try a little bit, but I was like, "What's in here? What is this? What are we drinking today?"
so what we have here, we all know Smugglers Rum starts off blue. Right here, we have the High C Sangria. So we have Smugglers Rum, Moscato, and pineapple juice. So I've created my own sangria, and I wanted to give people an alternate opportunity. You know, people live inside of a box.
Mm-hmm.
Red sangria, white sangria.
I know. Now we have green sangria. I like that. I like green. It's one of my favorite colors. So.
Hey, I like money, so I like money. I like the earth, so we're going green. We're enjoying a different color. We're walking into the spring. Spring is new growth, new ideas, new things. It's all going to be green for the next 5 to 6 months. So why not drink something that brings
Yeah.
spring a lot
It's
to
very
life?
cute. I like the color. It's super cute. It tastes really refreshing. It has like a nice, like, I don't know, just feel good feeling. Like it's just okay. But alrighty. So when people hear your name, what do you want them to associate it with?
Are we talking Smugglers Rum or are we talking my name?
Both. Why not?
When people hear Smugglers Rum, I want them to feel like, and their mind should go to a beach,
Mm-hmm.
a vacation, enjoyment. Uh, it doesn't matter if we are going through three horrible snows like we just went through.
Every day is sunny.
Every day sunny. And when they hear my name, I want them to know me as the man who thought outside of the box.
Okay, I like that. No cage, no limits.
No, there's no need for cages. You know, society draws a line for us that they expect us to follow, but who drew that line? When you think about what this country was built on, it was built on people thinking outside of the box.
That's absolutely true.
So then, why do they continue to try to put us in a box?
Well, I know you do more than just Smugglers Rum, which is a fantastic thing. You also are an author. Can we speak a little bit about that?
So I am an author. So this one is actually for you.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
So we have Entangled Desires by Tyree Whitworth, which everything I do goes back to some type of mental health as far as my writing.
Okay.
This right here is 6 different people, 6 lives, 6 personalities dealing with relationship issues and how to deal with them and how not to deal with them.
Okay.
I saw something earlier that says just because I forgive someone doesn't mean I have to let them back in.
Mm-hmm.
So in this, we're dealing with somebody who doesn't know how to forgive. And instead of forgiving, they allow anger and revenge to control their emotions.
Okay, so that's what the main character is about?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's 6 different people that he's battling? Or he has 6 different personalities?
No, he has one personality,
Okay.
but 2 personalities because everybody has a nice guy, everybody has a bad side. But there's 6 different people. You've ever watched the movie?
6 different relationships. It's sounding
Yeah.
polyamorous.
No, we're not going that.
Now, is this an autobiography that people want to know? Is this your relationship tale?
Honestly, each male character in there is me in a different stage of life.
Okay. I'm here for it.
And it's not always about intimate relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It can be family, it can be friends. All relationships have a line to where it can go good or bad.
Okay.
They always say it's the thin line between love and hate.
Now, is this to help guide the reader into like maybe some insight into their own life, or is this just a story for funds?
Honestly, it's both, because my life is meant to be an inspiration because of a lot of the things that I've gone through, a lot of the things that I've lived through. So with me living through those things, you never know. You might be having family issues, or you might be having relationship issues, or best friend issues. This is what not to do.
Oh, okay. So it's a warning.
Yeah, it's what not to
Read
do.
it, might learn something.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the book. What inspired you to write the book about relationships? Just your life?
I was actually going through a lot of trauma and healing because of my family dynamic, my childhood. It didn't start out as a book. It started out as journaling and therapy for me.
Okay.
And then I was in school at the time, and my professor was reading some of it, and she said, "I think you could turn this into a book. You're a great writer."
Oh wow.
And that's how I ended up here. Writing about my traumas
Mm-hmm.
was healing for me.
Mm-hmm. Like therapy.
That's what it was. You're talking a year and a half of therapy and self therapy.
Now, what have you learned with that therapy? How are your relationships doing now?
Well, behind the camera, you see one of my relationships, my oldest relationship. uh, you know,
Shout out Carlos. Thank you.
yeah, shout out to YFM Media
Yes.
for putting this together. I believe my relationships are healthier. I'm more open with who I am. Uh, the fact that I was in a previous relationship and I didn't understand why you would ask for something and then when you got it, you couldn't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot. When it comes to black men, we get that a lot for the fact that women will sit here and say, well, I want you to be more vulnerable, but then when we're called weak. When in all actuality, for a black man in America, it's strength to be vulnerable because we hold in so much. Just stepping outside of the house, we got to deal with so many things that we shouldn't have to deal with inside of the house.
That's true.
So my relationships now, I'm able to talk. Yeah, I still get a little upset. That's just normal, but not as I don't let it keep a hold of me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I let it go because at the end of the day, tomorrow's not promised. And I'm actually now able to apologize. I wouldn't apologize before because I always thought I was right.
Don't most men?
That is not. That's a lot of women too. Well, most of the time we just say, "Yeah, you're right," because we don't want to deal with it.
Well, do you think that's one truth that people don't want to hear about relationships?
Yeah.
Now, do you have another truth that you think people don't want to hear as well, from your perspective?
There's no more accountability. That's on both sides.
Well, outside of that, another one.
There's no such
stuck in a hard spot.
There's no such thing as independence.
Okay.
So when a woman says, "I'm an independent woman," there's no way you can be independent. Because if you were independent, you would be creating everything yourself. Your phone, your car, you would be doing it all yourself. It's called self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what men and women need to understand, that you might feel like I don't need a woman,
Mm-hmm.
but you do need a woman, because unless you decide not to have kids, the only way you're going to have kids is through a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And as a woman, you do need a man because most of the stuff is created by men.
Mm-hmm.
You go into Victoria's Secret. It's not really Victoria's Secret. It's Victor's Secret. That was a man.
Okay. Now, would you live on a planet where it was only men?
No.
Would you live on a planet where it's only women?
Yes, I would. I would definitely look. I would deal with 1,000,001 different women and their personalities.
Same sex.
Why?
Yeah, why can't you build your own Gender.
Because men aren't supposed to be nurturing.
Oh, okay.
Women are nurturing. And, as a man, we need a soft pillow to lay on. And that means nurturing.
Okay. I see what you put in. All right. And it also says you do fashion and modeling. How did you get started in the fashion and modeling industry?
One day, somebody asked me if I've ever modeled before. That's how it started. It was a woman, and she was like, "Oh, are you a model?" And I was like, "No, no." I'm not going to say how many years ago that was, but it was a lot of years ago. And then I started. She said, "Have you ever modeled?" I said no, and then I actually was 17, and she said, "Well, I'm gonna get you in contact with somebody." And then myself and Carlos,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
The longest relationship.
the longest relationship that I can actually sit here and say, I don't think we've had too many downs.
That's good.
Believe it or not.
I'm glad to hear that.
Model calls, he was with me. Photo shoots, he was the photographer. It's always been him and me.
Dynamic duo.
Right now, look, you put us in a room, I promise you, people will remember us.
Okay. Now, what does fashion mean to you beyond just style?
Being yourself. See, being in the United States means you have to wear so many masks. And when you're able to put those masks down and be yourself, you're able to realize, hey, I can do this. People will understand you more when you put down the mask.
Okay.
So when it comes to fashion, I'm able to just be myself. Whether somebody likes it or not, I don't really care because it's me.
I like that. I think that's very inspirational.
I've gone through my skater phase. I've gone through, in my white tee with the baggy tee and the baggy jeans, the jerseys with Nelly. Now I'm in, I used to hate being in hush puppies and corduroys when I was in school, but now I put on a suit and a tie before I put on jeans and sneakers.
Now, do you feel like that helps build your confidence in what you're wearing?
No, I'm confident in everything that I wear. I just feel like it makes me feel more like a CEO, like a boss.
Okay. So you feel better when you're dressed like fully.
Correct.
Okay.
And it also makes it to where, you might see me as a black man, but you're going to see me in this suit and you're going to be like, okay, he's not one of those.
Oh, a statistic.
Exactly. And believe it or not, I'm a statistic in every way, more than one.
How so?
Uh, didn't know who my father was until I was really 21. I've been a felon since I was 17. I've been homeless. I'm a single father. So just right there, that's four statistics. I have multiple baby mamas, you know, but all of my children's mothers respect me, understand what I'm doing, as well as me being a statistic and being in the spirit industry just proves that the sky is the limit. Because everybody used to say, you being in the spirit industry and you being a felon, that it's never going to happen. But I'm here.
And how does that feel?
It feels good to be able to continuously prove everybody wrong. I've been told I've been told since I was like 14 that I wouldn't amount to anything. 15, I wouldn't make it past 18. 18, I wouldn't make it past 21 because of the life I was living. And now I am definitely well above 21 and I'm still here.
I'm going to ask you your age. It's okay.
Look, just know I look 28. I'm going to go with 28. But, with the fact that so many people have counted me out, and now they're sitting here watching my story every day.
Okay. Do you feel like you see yourself as a brand or more of a movement? Because when you speak, it comes off like you're more of like a movement, that you're doing something bigger than just the brand of Smugglers Rhum or the author. It's more like you're doing it for generations.
A movement, because I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm working on leaving a legacy for my kids as well as the youth of today. Because just because somebody tells you or assumes you're going to be one thing, that doesn't always mean that's what you're going to be. You determine your future. You can go right, you can go wrong, but if you allow them to continuously tell you what you're going to do, then that's what you're going to do. But it's your choice. You have a choice to end up like they say or do better.
I love that. I love that. Let's see. I think I crushed this first page already. Okay, entrepreneur. So, what habits help you stay consistent when building your business?
Quitting 10 times a day.
Wait, what?
Literally.
Quit.
Any entrepreneur knows entrepreneurship is the hardest industry to get into. And I will sit here and say I quit 10 times a day.
I will drink to that.
Look, I know this isn't about you, but you know, you own you run your own hair salon. You know, you want to eventually have your own school. You know, you understand what it means to want to quit 10 times a day and just be like, man, I'm done. But what do? You go to sleep and you wake up and you're right back at it again. That's what it is.
That's how you know it's your purpose.
Entrepreneurship is not just something that you say, hey, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be an entrepreneur. It's something, it's a life, because Ice Cube said it best. If you don't plan on going 10 years minimum without paying yourself, then you're not built for it.
Well, is that one of the things that separate a dreamer from an entrepreneur?
Correct.
What else do you think separates the dreamers from the doers?
Procrastination. You know, I could sit here and say I still procrastinate about one thing in my life. And I've been sitting here telling him for the last 3 months, I need to get back in the gym. But that's what separates a dreamer from a doer. So I did say April 1st I was getting back in the gym. But
have you been to the gym yet?
No, April 1st is next week.
I don't even know what day it is. That's
April 1st is next week.
Life.
But that's really what changed. That's what separates a dreamer from a doer. You know, being able to have discipline and actually wake up and say, hey, I'm going to do this today, get it done. Even if you don't get all of it done, but at least sit here and take the steps to get some of it done.
And try.
No, we don't try. Trying is an attempt to fail.
No,
so we attempt.
I don't agree with that one.
The reason why I say that, and that's the definition. The definition of try, when you break it down, means an attempt to fail.
Okay, we're gonna have to Google that, but you might be correct. I am not one of those women who don't take accountability, so I might be wrong.
But you know, it's like Nike, just do it. You know, that's it. It's Nike came up with one of the best slogans, just do it. There's no point in just procrastinating. You wake up in the morning, don't sit in bed, don't scroll, you know, wake up and say, I'm going to do this today, and you do it. You know, that's the difference between a dreamer and a doer. And it also goes back to the mentality and mental health, because a lot of people tend to scroll nowadays and it gets them stuck in that moment. And that's where they sit here and say, depression. I've been there. I've done it. I've attempted suicide twice in my life. So I understand it. But the idle mind is the devil's playground. So when you're just sitting there scrolling, what are you really doing? Is that productive? No, it's not. So now in the morning I wake up, I do my little stretches, I get the sun, and I'm at it.
Well, I'm glad that you're here and that I got to see your beautiful book and your beautiful run. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Can you share a moment where you faced failure and bounced back?
2018. Was it 2018? Junior would have been. Yeah, 2018. 2017, I was facing 27 and a half years.
Oh, wow.
For something that I did not do. That was a failure for me, because I told myself I'd never go back behind the wall. But it was a choice, because unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people know, and a lot of people don't know how racist Florida State can really be. And Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, they're going to get what they want. And they wanted me behind the wall. So I ended up doing 18 months in Florida State Correction Facility. And that was a failure when I first went in there. I was drowning. I was stuck in my ways. I didn't want to listen. And then reality hit. I can't do anything about what's going outside of these walls. The only thing I can do is work on me. So I was in the law library, I was in the regular library, books, business books, the whole time, working on what I wanted to do. And the rum.
That's what it was.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I needed to understand business more, not just from what I know, but from what they know. And everything is in a book. So I bounced back and I came home and I grinded.
Clearly, you've done a lot. So, do you have any other business adventures that you have that you're working on, or is it just Smugglers Rhum for right now?
Right now, it is just I've learned that I'm not Superman, so I don't take on more than I can chew. But I do have my book, my novel, as well as I was supposed to publish my poetry book this year, but it wasn't up to my standards, so I waited. I started working on part two. Eventually, I do want to have a food truck, but the end goal is the next Black Wall Street.
Okay, I like that.
We we don't have enough Black businesses supporting Black businesses. My end goal in the rum industry is, especially being in the DMV, 60 to 70% of the nightlife is Black owned businesses, Black owned nightlife, bars, restaurants, lounges, clubs. But yet you walk inside of these establishments and you barely see any Black owned brands. I know 10 Black owned brands out of the DC and Maryland, PG County area that should be in every Black owned restaurant, bar, lounge, and club because they are better than what we're already drinking. People say it's because, oh, they're not popular, but they're not popular because you're not putting them out there to be popular.
That's true. The people don't know that they're there.
If we can't get the spotlight, how are people going to understand who we are and what we're doing?
Now, what does generational wealth mean to you?
Being able to make sure that my kids, my future kids, if I did choose to have more kids, don't have to know what I've gone through, but know what I've gone through. They don't ever have to live it. My kids will never go without knowing where a meal was coming from. They will never have to be homeless unless they choose to. They will never be forced to do things that they don't want to do. They have options. And no matter what, I will be here. My father was never here for me. Even to this day, I might speak to him once a year, if that. But my kids, I speak to them often. I'm a single father of a soon to be 11-year-old. I've had him for the last 6 years. I have a 2-year-old that is running around here bad out of hell. And he is literally, look, he's been terrible once, terrible 6 months. The moment he started running, well, the moment he took his first step at 7 months, it's just been nonstop.
Oh.
So, my kids will never have to know what it means to not to go without. And that's what generational wealth is. And it's not what I've created with Smugglers Rum is not just for me. It's everybody involved. Everybody who has been here from day one, everybody who's believed in me from day one. I don't care if they don't have equity. I don't care if they were just here for the first 6 months. The fact that you helped will mean you always have grace in my heart. You ever need anything, you call me. If I got it, you got it.
That's beautiful. Now, how does Smugglers Rhum connect with culture, nightlife, and lifestyle?
Culture, because it takes us back to our ancestors. Unless you're a Native American or Native American Mexican, you're not from here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it means to cross that ocean, or at least your ancestors do. As far as the nightlife, and I want people, like I said earlier, to feel like they're on a vacation somewhere. We went through 3 horrible snows, and you know what I was drinking? I was drinking Smugglers Rhum.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was drinking. I wasn't drinking tequila. I wasn't drinking whiskey, bourbon, gin. I was drinking Smuggler's Rum because it made me feel like I was on a beach somewhere, and that's where I needed my mind to take me.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to feel like I was on a vacation, even though it was below zero outside and snow, and I couldn't go anywhere, and I was trapped. I needed to feel like I was on a vacation, and that's what I want to bring to every nightlife, every home. And by the end of 2026, Smuggler's Rum,
Who is your target audience for Smuggler Rhum?
everybody.
That's what I think.
As long as they're 21 and up.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Drink responsibly. If you're under 21, I don't want to know about it.
So it's not just for the minorities.
No, it's for everybody. It's meant for everybody to be able to feel like they're enjoying life and they're on a vacation somewhere. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Spanish. Some of us don't have the funds to go on a vacation. I know before 3 years ago, I didn't go on a vacation for almost 20, and I needed it. So now I feel like I'm on a vacation. I feel like I'm going to Jamaica or the Bahamas or Virgin Islands, and that's what everybody should feel. You know, we go through so much especially with the way this economy is going, that we just need to relax, sit back and relax.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I definitely feel, sangria, this is my second cup, so I definitely feel very relaxed, smooth. I mean, you are a friendly face, so that always helps. But yeah, I definitely do enjoy the energy that the drink brings. I can feel that, even with you and your brand. Speaking of your brand, what kind of image do you want to have for your brand?
Fun, um, relaxation. I want people to, when they see Smuggler's Rum, they go back to a vacation. They go back to, hey, especially being a minority in the United States, it takes them back to where their ancestors are from. Doesn't matter if you're from Cuba, it doesn't matter if you're from DR, Haiti. You should understand what it means to cross that journey, and you should understand what it means to work hard. You should also understand what it means for everything to be stolen from you, because that's what Smuggler's Rum symbolizes: regaining what belongs to you. This is not just for me. This is for my kids. This is for my sister's kids. This is for your future kids. This is for my baby girl from my brother Carlos. This is for everybody who has ever had anything stolen from them, to where they can regain the power. It doesn't stop with Smuggler's Rum. It stops with everything. You know, we just found out that soon there's not going to be no more BET.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because once again they want to silence us.
Mm-hmm.
And when we continue to allow them to silence us, we lose our voice. They did it on purpose. BET has been around since I was running around in diapers.
Mm-hmm.
But now you want to make it to where it's for all. What? We are not allowed to have one thing that belongs to us, without having to migrate with everybody else and what everybody else is doing. The Asians have theirs, the Hispanics have theirs, the Indians have theirs, the white people have theirs, but everything that the black community has, they want to just integrate it with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Umar said the worst thing that could have happened to us was integration. And I'm starting to believe it. because the more we integrate, the more they want us to become them. When in all actuality, they want to be us. You got your daughters wanting to hang out with basketball players. Most basketball players ain't white. You got them wanting to be with football players. Why is that? You got them wanting to be with rappers. You got your sons out here wanting to be like rappers. You know, Eminem, great lyricist, great MC. Guess what? He got it from hanging around with us. So if everything that your kids and your children's children are doing is us, why would you want to continue to attempt to strip that from us? And being black in business, unfortunately, I'm not supposed to be speaking about this, but somebody told me everything you've done was outside of the box. So why stay inside the lines? So I can speak about this. If somebody doesn't like it, guess what? I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. That's going to be my answer for the rest of the year. I don't know what to tell you. Per my last email, if you didn't catch it.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. Now, was there a moment where everything could have gone left but didn't?
Yeah, 27 and a half years. If you want to go 10 years before that, protecting a woman that never wanted to protect me, but she did bring me into this world. Before then, being around my mother's abusive ex-boyfriend.
Well, no, it says, was there a moment where everything could have gone left, but it didn't? It worked out. So you're saying, well, yeah, I guess you make sense.
That could have gone left, and I could have stayed down the rabbit hole, and I could have just allowed each and every one of those things that had happened to me to tear me down, keep me in that hole, keep me in a negative mind space. But instead, I allowed it to fuel me to do better. And some people say it's wrong to allow that anger and resentment to be the reason why and my motivation for doing what I'm doing. But I don't see it as that, because you know what? Anger and resentment could have allowed me to go out there and do something that'll cost my life or somebody else's life. But instead, I used it to do something positive into the world.
And I think that's beautiful. I know you can't say that with men, but that is very beautiful.
Hey, look, I don't mind being called beautiful by all means. I don't have to just be handsome.
Where do you see Smugglers Rhum going in the next 5 years?
I'll give you 7. By the year of 2033, Smugglers Rhum will be $1 billion brand.
Okay, I like that. Sitting in the room with a couple billionaires. Like that. Now, are you looking to expand into other markets or products, or you just want to solely? I know you say you don't like to be like Superman and take on too much. Do you think you'll end up dabbling in other things or no?
Are you talking the spirit industry or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh no, I plan on dabbling in other things. Property, real estate, like I said earlier, Black Wall Street. But it's not just because I want to make money. The end goal is to have a nonprofit and to be able to, I might not be able to cure all homelessness, but I'd be able to help. You know, I can name 5 billionaires right now, and if you gave just 100 million, we could cure homelessness and be able to feed everybody. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's not just black people that are homeless. You got homeless vets. My grandfather was a vet. You have white people who are homeless. You have Asians who are homeless. You have Indians who are homeless. You know, it's something that really should hit home for everybody. Because how could you sit there and look at this person? First of all, we've always learned never judge a book by its cover. So you don't know the reason why they're homeless. You know, things happen. House could have burned down, insurance lapse. Don't act like you ain't never missed a bill a day in your life. Things happen. It's not always drugs or alcohol or military. It's not always those things, but even if it was those, why, if anybody sits here and says, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Muslim, I'm any of these things, it's, he who throws the first, he who casts the first stone. You know, we're not meant to judge. It's not our place to judge. It's our place to help and give back and be able to lend an uplifting hand. And I know I said it to you before. What you put out to this world is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my end goal. My end goal is to be able to help as many people as I can. I don't care if it's one person or a million people. That one person's life changes, that means they change the next person's life. And eventually one day it'll hit 1 million.
Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot. It's very deep. I can feel it in your soul that you really mean it, which is great because it's more easy to get behind a brand when they actually believe it in themselves and they're not just selling it. And I can feel like you're actually believing in yourself and the brand and what you stand for, and that's very beautiful of you.
I appreciate it. You know, I think Carlos is the only person that really knows more than 50% of my life. Most people only get maybe 25%.
Well, we got 25% today. Maybe on the last one. We're trying. We're getting through there. We still got some good questions in here. It says,
Freddie.
what kind of legacy do you want to leave through your brand?
Just lending a helping hand and regaining in your identity. You know, we've been stripped of identity for so long to where, for example, Uncle Nearest. It's known that Uncle Nearest's recipes were stolen, and now look, Uncle Nearest's brand is #2 in the whiskey industry. They regained their identity to show people like we've been doing this before it was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're back to regain what was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Smugglers Rhum, you know, rum was stolen from the Caribbean, and you know, with these tariffs, made it even harder for the Caribbean islands to ship over the good rum because, you know, they don't really want the good rum here. They want Bacardi and Captain Morgan and Malibu to hold that throne. But we all know that, hey, if I go in there and I order a top shelf Long Island, why would I want Bacardi in it?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I still paying full price for something that's not having premium rum in it? It's just regaining your identity, understanding who you are, where you come from, and that is what Smugglers Rhum symbolizes. Because before 5 years ago, I didn't know my ancestry, and now I'm realized that I've been walking in my ancestry all my life. Everything's stolen from me, whether it comes from my childhood, my mother, my father, or when it comes to the United States government, it was stolen from me. Whether I was right or wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. I've done a lot of wrong things, but I can sit here and say I've never been incarcerated for anything that I've actually done wrong. So I'm okay with the fact that I've had to do some time behind some of the things that I did not do wrong. It made up for it.
What advice would you give someone trying to start their own brand?
In the spirit industry or just in brand in general?
In general. Not everybody's in spirit, so keep it open for the viewer.
Believe in yourself. Don't allow anybody to tell you you can't do anything because that's when you fail. By not at least attempting and doing what you love. Now, if it's not a passion, then don't do it,
Okay.
you know, because eventually it just becomes work and then it feels like another job. And then eventually you just get tired of it and you end up right where you were working a 9 to 5 and you're not happy. If it's a passion, I don't care if you're an artist, if you're a photographer, a videographer, if you're a host, hairstylist, as long as you believe and there's a passion behind it, you can succeed. It might take you 10 years, it might take you 20 years, it doesn't matter. You know, Barbara from Shark Tank, she didn't hit her first, I think it was 37, 38, 39, something like that. She didn't hit her first million, you know, and now look at her.
Yeah, now she's living the life.
Living the life. And she doesn't have to do what she's doing now if she chooses not to. But she chooses to help people. Yeah, obviously there's something on the back end for her. But in this world, it's a give and take. It's always a give and take. Nothing comes for free.
Well, how can people support and be a part of your movement?
For me, it's not all just about selling product. By all means, you can go to Smugglers Rhum, that's spelled RHUM, on Instagram. Like and share. Most people sit here and say, well, they won't buy. The product's going to move whether you buy it or not. For me, it's really just the like and share. You know, just the fact that, hey, you might not know it, me. You might never have met me, but you just liked it. It just shows that, hey, you're here. You know, hey, one day I might just go through my likes and be like, hey, I think you deserve something for just liking it. You never know. Right now we have a giveaway going on, and people don't really know that I'm going to give more than two people a gift, just for liking, sharing, and following.
I think we have everything now. It's time for the closing. Do you have anything else that you want to tell our viewers? Or anything you feel like I missed?
No, I believe you covered everything, but the last thing I will say is be yourself. It doesn't matter who is around. Just always be genuinely you, unapologetically you, because that's what people really want to see. They don't want to see anybody else but you and understand who you are. And when you stop dropping masks, I promise you, more will come to your life because then you're just being you.
Okay. Now what's next for Tyree Hudson?
DC Cocktail Fest this weekend. And next month we have New York Cocktail Expo. And then from there, I think I'm just going to sit back and just focus on the states that I'm in and go that route. I just brought on two partners who are on the West Coast who are going to start taking the load off of me, so I can really just start focusing on being the CEO. But little do they know, I actually like being out there doing my own tastings and understanding and seeing what people really feel about the product.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, I'll pop by.
Okay. Now, where can we find Smugglers Rhum? Where can we get it?
You can go to either smugglers-rum, spelled RHUM.com, or just smugglersrum.com. It will link you to both pages, or you can go to my Instagram. We have in our highlights where all of our locations are. We're about to update. We just went into 5 more last week, and this week we are going into the Ocean Down Casino in Ocean City.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So we're definitely pushing, we're moving, and 10 years ago, I would have never thought I would be here. But I'm glad that I never gave up. Well, my name is Tyree Hudson. You can also find me on Amazon at Tyree Whitworth. Shout out to YFM Media, and we're going to finish this Smugglers Rhum and enjoy the rest of our evening.
Well, cheers to that. Thank you so much for the interview. It was great. You gotta tap it. Look you in the eye. You getting 7 years mad sex. I ain't signing up with you.
YFM got the lens on go.